Today is June 30, 2012, and I'm about to interview my mom, Faye Merritt, concerning some things that I heard that was said at Mount Calvary Church of God on Thursday. It was Thursday this week, correct? Wednesday this week, said by the past, not the pastor, but Elder Archie Watkins. Now, to set this up, I went to ask him, did he say that individuals that have left the Church of God and are going to a house church, they're going to hell? He said that he did not say it. I went there with the purpose of, if he said that, if he could prove it, I'd give him $2,000, period. I had both checkbooks in my pocket. I went there to ask him because I didn't want to just say that you said something and you didn't. I didn't think that would be fair. So I talked to one of the deacons that was out of town, and he said that I don't know what he meant when he said it. I don't know what the context was. And I told that deacon that if he talked to me, I would keep his business where it wouldn't be public. But if necessary, should anything come out of it, then I would go back to that deacon, because this deacon, he's already retired and he's young and he's able to take care of his own thing. So again, on the Thursday night that you went, Wednesday night, I'll get my mind right in a minute, and I'll get Thursday, I'll keep Wednesday in there. What was said from the pulpit about people that left the church? In your own words, tell me what was said.
Well, the first thing he said was all those that had walked away and left the Church of God were lost. That was his first words.
Okay.
And then he said, they're going to hell.
Okay.
That's what he said. And then he talked a little longer, and he brought up a part where he said, he mentioned funerals. He said sometimes people that had left the church would come back to attend the funeral of someone, that had died. And sometimes they were even given a chance to make remarks about the person that had died. Some would make the statement that I got my start here in the Church of God. And he said, and I don't know why they said that. He said, what you say that for? You're not still here. You're going to hell. You left. If you're not in the Church of God, of the National Convention of the Churches of God Holiness, which has been going on for over 80 years, you're going to hell. That's what he said. And I'd stand and look him right in the eye and say, why are you lying? You said it. Anderson was there. Atlanta was there. Elberton and Greenwood. So now why he want to lie, I don't know. I heard it.
And your name is?
Faye Merritt. I've known Archie since he was a little boy.
Next question. You said that he was saying something about people and wanting to preach or not being elevated. Would you please make the statement as you remember it was stated, or at least the essence of it?
Yes. He had kind of a sarcastic way of saying this. He clasped his hands in front of him, and and he was just kind of walking with his head down, and he'd look up, and he said, there are a lot of people that want to be. They want to be, but they were looked over, and they want to be preachers, and they wasn't chosen, so they just go out and start something. This is what he was saying, and I knew where he was coming from. I'm not stupid. And then he continued to talk, and then he was saying that they don't have a church, but they go to a house, and they go to a house, and God is not there. God is in this place. The churches of God holiness. That's where you go. God said in his word, that's where he would meet you. He didn't say he'd meet you in a house.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, that's the end of my interview. Maybe in the future I might video it, but I just needed that statement because he said that he did not say it. I asked him, and he categorically denied it.
Well, I tell you once again, he lied. My husband was sitting right beside me, and he heard it too.
And therefore, I just, whenever I address this as him lying, because first of all, I have nothing to gain by exposing the lie. But this is something that's been taught many times. But I was shocked because I had never known him to lie to me, but I haven't had any dealings really with him in the last 20 years, except for he bought some product where I worked and I saw him a couple of times. But this statement and the way that it was delivered,
Well, I want to say something.
Sure.
I want to say this. My beef with him is that church was full that night for a change. And this man was standing there lying. I know that that's not the churches of God holiness is not the only place that God visits his people. If that's all God got is just 34 churches and maybe not even 50 members in each one, then somewhere down the line God lied.
That's true.
Somewhere he lied.
That's true.
And you don't have to be in the church of God holiness to learn God's word. All you need is somebody that studies and loves the Lord and wants to put the word out there right. And he stood there in front of all those people and told them, this is the only place you can get saved. Other than that, you're going to hell. He was wrong.
Was there anybody that was in agreement with him?
Oh, the little deacons and things that were sitting up there on the front row.
What about anybody in the pulpit?
Well, there was some up there just sit there and laughed and looked like pie face.
Well, I thank you for this interview, and I appreciate it very much. And in the future, I plan to have more interviews with different people as to why they left the Church of God. And it will be recorded, and therefore people will be able to get a chance to understand, why have people left the Church of God? What is it that needs to be done that this church, before it completely sinks like the Titanic, and it's not as big as the Titanic, what can be done to reform it so that people will not be driven away, and some of those that have been so abused and have gone away from the Lord, they may be able to be brought back to the Lord, not to the church, but to the Lord. Should they reform and get with God's word, it may be able to be a benefit to all. I do thank you for that interview, and you did a great job. I appreciate it, Mom.